So it's one thing opening your stocks and shares ISA. I think it's a completely different thing getting the best out of it. So I'd love to hear all your tips and tricks about how you do that.
And one thing that works for me, I think, is sort of planning out when I'm going to invest in my ISA and when I'm going to use it. I mean, I think we all have good intentions with money and habit formation around money, but I kind of think if I end up just waiting, I might just hang around too long for the perfect time to invest and never end up actually doing it. So for me, it just works to do it when I get paid. I'll just put it in monthly, and then it's a habit and it's done and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I do the same thing. Like, ideally, I would invest 20K at the start of the year, but unfortunately, I don't always have 20K to invest at the start of the year. So what works for me is to do it regularly, and I know how powerful investing over the long term is and how compounding interest can have such an effect. But for me, it's better doing it regularly rather than leaving it until the last minute when maybe I haven't been able to save as much money to invest it all at once.
Yeah, and something that helps me think about that as well is diversification in my portfolio. So if I think about one of my healthcare companies is going through something, then maybe one of my technology companies is doing something else, and then different again in my consumer stocks. So it's just about making sure that there's different things happening and different influences at different types of company in my portfolio. Now, I don't think it's a one size fits all. Everyone has different goals, so they'll hold different things. And I also don't think it's about flooding your portfolio full of every stock that you come across. But the general idea of holding stocks across different areas of the world, different industries, maybe some small, medium, and large companies. I think that works well with diversification.
And that's also where fractional shares can be really useful as well, because buying a full share can be quite expensive. So being able to buy a portion of a share rather than a whole share can be really useful for all different types of budgets and ensure that you can still get those diversification benefits regardless of how much you're putting in every month.
One of the things that's actually really important for me is having it all in one place. So it becomes so easy to have ISAs all over in different apps, different platforms. But for me, it's so much better to track all of my contributions, my investments, particularly also my fees in one place. And actually with Robinhood, it's been so easy to transfer my ISA and be able to see all of it in one place.
Yeah, and I think there's that misconception that transferring your ISA counts towards your allowance when it doesn't. So like you mentioned, having it all in one place under one roof is really helpful. I think, why didn't I actually move it over more sooner than I already did?
Yeah, it also helps, I think, to stay kind of aware of what's going on in the news and how it's affecting your investments. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to be glued in all the time, but I think if you know what you hold, you know what the headlines are saying, it can give you that bit of peace of mind about what's going on in your portfolio.
I agree. I think we don't want to be chopping and changing when the stock prices move, right? I think we want to keep ourselves educated to understand why that stock might have moved, what's happening with the market. And I think that's why we put so much emphasis on the learn and education section of our website and the Robinhood experience. So really you can stay calm under that pressure.
It feels like there's a lot of key themes being drawn out here. One being, investing for the long term and focusing on that long-term vision, diversifying your assets to spread risk, and then thinking about how to spread your investments throughout the year and you're making it a habit and investing regularly, and then thinking about what's the best way to track it all. And that might mean transferring it all into one place, like a Robinhood ISA, if that feels sensible. And then I think there's something that goes over all of it, which is keeping yourself informed and making sure you know what's happening in the world and how it's moving your money.